Hey, this is Kelli.
And this is Sue.
And welcome to Front Porch AF,
where friends and neighbors read along with me now, gather to have a drink and a laugh. And the next word is and.
And on their front porch, their audio front porch.
Figure out how to solve all the problems of the world.
I'm getting better every time.
You are every time.
And I always make fun of my brother because I say he can't read, but evidently.
By the way, there is a musical act in town called Little Johnny Can't Read.
Oh, gosh.
It's true. Yeah. Okay.
Good for them. How you doing, Sue?
I'm actually doing hot.
Oh, my gosh. It's sweltering out there.
It is. It's July. It's in the South. So, yeah.
Last night at 10 o'clock, it was 81 degrees and 81% humidity.
This morning when I got up, it was 73 and 91% humidity. How do we know these things? Because our phones tell us, but I still opened up the house, blew, fresh air for about 4 or 5 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I try to open up every morning.
I thought I felt
blow
the
the
breeze.
stink out. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Today I was on the interstate and I was behind this like really junky looking car. It was a bunch of kind of young dudes in it, and one guy kept, doing his arm out the window for the truckers to honk their horns. No truckers are honking the horns at him, but I rolled my window down because I liked her. And all of a sudden, all you could smell was just marijuana. There was like this big cloud of marijuana go down the interstate.
Not that you would know.
I do know. It's like, oh my God.
Are we in Michigan? No. Okay. So by the way, we are both busy because we're both packing.
Yeah, we're both packing.
And we don't mean we're packing, like, hey, are you packing? No, I am packing a suitcase to go to see my sister.
When you leave? Soon?
5 days. 5 days. So I have to start packing now. And you're going to be?
I'm leaving in 3 days. So
by the time airs.
I'll pack Monday.
Yes. By the time this airs, I'll be back and you'll still be gone. Well.
Anyway, what are you drinking today, by the way?
I am drinking because I'm trying very, 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 very hard to reduce my day intake of alcohol. I'm drinking ginger ale.
Good for you.
Well.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to increase my nighttime. Alcohol. Yeah. Okay. And tell all our listeners what you're drinking, Kelli.
Well, I'm having a Miller Lite, but especially today in this heat, I've got it in what I call a beer parka. And it's one of those Huggies that goes all the way to the neck, and zips up around it.
So keep it super cool.
Super cool. But this one is from a place called Eskimo Joe's in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And my really good friend, Jerry Ritchie, lives there. He's the dean of the Oklahoma Vet School. And we were out there visiting him, and he took us to the vet school, which we were super excited about. He said, but really the place that you have to go in Stillwater is Eskimo Joe's, and they have the best smash burgers. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the best ones I've ever had. So if you're in Stillwater, Oklahoma, go to Eskimo Joe's and get a...
Speaking of smash burgers, that leads into the neighborhood notes.
Yeah.
Because I'll start out neighborhood notes. I got invited to a soft opening, which I never even heard of before I moved to Nashville, of a restaurant, ML Rose, which is having a branch open up here near to us. It was awesome. Yeah. Best waffle fries I have ever had. Best waffle fries. Of course, they get burgers and great beer and everything. Wonderful patio, wonderful friends. There is a gift that somebody made of me. I'll put it on the web for y'all. For y'all.
What were you doing?
I was trying to substitute lemons for limes in my gin gimlet, in my vodka gimlet. I'm sorry.
How'd that work out for you?
A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do when she wants a gimlet. And speaking of food.
Oh, yeah.
What did we do last
weekend?
Yeah.
We went to Papa Turney's barbecue and Mrs. Egg's juke joint out on Percy Priest Lake.
And we danced. And we danced up a storm.
Great place to go hang out. Yeah. I would love it.
And yes, there are pictures on the web.
But no videos. Just still shots, right? No videos of us dancing. We were cutting a rug, though.
We were. Huh. You do anything interesting this week?
Well, I got the stock. I got a stock tank so that when I get done working and I'm hot, I can get cooled off.
All right, let me get this straight. You bought a stock tank that horses drink out of.
Or cows.
Or cows.
Or goats.
But you're going to use it as a pool.
Absolutely. Yes. What else? I mean, what else do you do?
Can I come and take pictures?
Yeah, you can.
Ooh.
Absolutely. I'm super excited about it because it's just like so hot. And
I would come over.
Yeah, you could come over. It's going to have little chairs in it so you can just like sit.
Oh, wow.
It's not deep, but it's going to be cool and clean. But anyway, I did that. But the other thing, like today, I was telling you I was on the interstate and one of the things I wanted to say, like, I have my abide no hatred flag, kind of have this like, let's bring the love to the world. Mm-hmm. And there are certain things that test that. And today it happened. And you know what it is for me? Like the biggest trigger?
What?
A Cybertruck. I just see those things.
Unless it's got a thing that says, I bought this before I knew.
Even if it said, like, it's not a truck. It's like so ridiculous. And I just see them.
Ugly. They're the ugliest.
It's like one of the biggest tests of my love for the world.
Because you want to reach out and you want to embrace with love.
With love. And all I can think about
is because I'm going to run you over. Yeah. Besides, your truck is bigger than a Cybertruck.
It is because I was right beside it and I looked down at it and I was like, yeah. It's not a truck,
metaphorically and
literally.
What are they called? Height-wise.
Yeah.
Height-wise.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, it tests
me. Okay, you know what tests me? It's when somebody throws something out a window. A litter.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. You go straight to hell. You don't pass go. You don't collect $200. You go. And if it's a lit cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
Ninth circle. Ninth circle.
Yeah, for sure. That's actually a big problem. Like, that's dangerous.
Yeah. But so many people just, because they don't want to dirty their car.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay.
So that's neighborhood notes. On that note.
Okay.
What do we get in the mailbag this week?
Oh gosh. First of all, we got a note. Remember last week you told us about moving 44 tons of gravel? Mm-hmm. One of our listeners, trust me, there are pictures on the web and on socials of Kelli moving 44 tons of gravel. Listener Herb said, those Kubota tractors just get it done. Well, Herb, so does Kelli. There you go.
And so does Herb. Herb and I, he's like a cool dude.
Wait a minute. You mean you know him?
Yeah,
I thought it was just out of the blue, like some rando.
No, we share a love for Kubota tractors.
Oh, okay.
And persimmons.
And guess what else I got in the mail?
What?
Speaking of Huggies, koozies, our friend Jim, whom we met when the Bulwark came to Nashville, they're one of the inspirations for our little pod here. Jim sent me a picture of the official Front Porch AF Huggy in action at Hilton Head on his little respite there. Yeah. And so all hail.
Yeah, I had so cool. I love the way Huggy just rolled off your mouth too.
Well, I'm in your presence. I try to moderate my language. It was not encasing a Miller Lite though. So
yeah, that's okay.
Okay. I believe we have other things from the mailbox.
This was a face-to-face feedback from a listener. And we were chatting about the pod and she said, I just love Sue. She just laughs and loves everybody. And you know what? She should run for president. Sue for president. I was like, you are as nutty as I've always thought you were. But anyway, I think that'd be great. A great sticker, like a great theme. Sue for president.
And my motto.
What's your motto?
A chicken in every pot and a Huggy on every beer.
I love it.
There you go. All right.
I think you could win on that.
You have my vote. I mean, I have my vote. Yes. I could win on that. It's more substantial than certain political parties have had in the last 4 to 8 years.
Definitely some meat to it.
And greet.
Oh, we're going downhill fast.
Okay. We're going to back out here. Sue for president. Well, thank you for that. I'll take it under advisement and I'll start my PAC.
Yeah, we need to start a super PAC.
Oh my Lord. A super duper PAC. Jeez. Okay.
Oh, we'll have to kind of play that one out at Snack Friday and see how it goes. Oh. Test the market.
I could have little cards made up with a QR code.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait a minute. That's what we did for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still passing those out. If anybody wants one, I'll send you the PDF and you can print it out. Oh, and I'm going to turn the floor over to you now, Miss Kelli.
Yeah, we are so excited today to have our special guest, Francie Hunt. Francie, I first saw Francie I don't remember exactly what the year was. I'm sure you know Francie is right at the cusp of right before the Supreme Court overturned Roe. And there was a big protest down in Nashville. And Piper and I went down there, and you were one of the speakers. And I remember listening to you speak and think, man, it was really great, really great. You're a very good public speaker. You're very inspirational. It didn't help the Supreme Court ruling, but it was awesome. But anyway, and so Francie is executive director for Tennessee Advocates for Planned Parenthood. She's been doing that since 2013. And so for anybody who's alive, there's been quite the fight and a lot going on in the last few years with that, especially since even before the overturning of Roe. I think here in Tennessee, you guys have probably had an uphill battle all the way. So we're excited to have you on the show today and hear about one of the things that we're really super excited is to hear about is Planned Parenthood in general. I mean, I know so many people that have this misconception about Planned Parenthood and what it is. And so we're going to dig into that today. So welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome, Francie, and thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
coming.
And a little aside here, thank you to Planned Parenthood, who during the 60s and 70s provided my health care.
Great.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, for sharing that.
So Francie, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into this role and with Planned Parenthood and what you do?
Well, for about half of my career, I was in education. So I think I would say pretty, my roots are really in child advocacy.
Oh.
And, when I was in college, I was the president of our campus chapter of NOW, the National Organization for Women. So I,
Is
I
that
have
still a thing?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as I know.
Yeah.
But, I, had one foot firmly planted in like feminist activism just through that role. And then as an early educator, I just kind of really saw the importance of making sure that every young person could grow up to their fullest potential. And so I think that those values combined kind of eventually led me back to Planned Parenthood. I was a, educator and a child advocate for a very long time. And then in 2013, when they were hiring for someone to get an organizing program started, this is before the ballot initiative in 2014. That was when Tennessee voters voted to decide whether to give our state legislature the constitutional authority to restrict or ban abortion for any reason, and it narrowly passed, unfortunately. But the year prior to that, they hired me to help build a powerful base. And I would say, I mean, we've grown so much in the state. If we had the base of support that we have right now, back in 2014, I'm confident we would have won. We have just such a deep bench of supporters and donors all across the state.
I mean, I think they've been playing the long game on this.
Yeah.
Remember, I've listened to Phyllis Schlafly. Is that how you say it?
Oh, yeah.
Schlafly.
I mean, that was in the early 70s. This was the drum, all this was starting, But anyway, so Francie, tell us a little bit about what does Planned Parenthood do besides, I mean, abortion is, let's just, before we even go, abortion is healthcare and it's healthcare for women. And that's just our baseline level playing field here on the pod. So beyond that, what is Planned, that is not everything that Planned Parenthood is about. Can you tell us all the things that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that drew me from being a full-time child advocate to Planned Parenthood was kind of seeing that connection. I mean, Planned Parenthood is in the name.
Yeah.
That you can be a parent in all kinds of circumstances, but if you can plan it, we think that that's better economically for the family. It's also better for the well-being of that child and any other child in that family that can get attention and the resources from their parents. So that's kind of an underlying value of Planned Parenthood. And I think, our Planned Parenthood of Tennessee, North Mississippi that provides health care. We have health centers, 2 of them in Memphis, 1 in Nashville, 1 in Knoxville. And we provide a range of healthcare services. We provide life-saving cancer screenings, STI, STD treatment and testing, wellness exams, gender affirming care. We used to provide abortion in the state before the ban went into effect. So, we're really proud of that. I think we're known as an entity that's going to provide non-judgmental care. And so people from all walks of life come through our doors and have that relationship with us. And it's not uncommon at all for me to just kind of let folks, if I'm on an airplane or if I'm walking across the state or whatever, and I let folks know that I'm with Planned Parenthood, 9 times out of 10, people thank me for the work that we're doing. I rarely find anyone that has any beef with it. I think, Planned Parenthood has been here for around 100 years in Tennessee, and we were providing, birth control and family planning to, women in Appalachia. Yeah. And that's how people know us. And so we've been providing care before Roe went into effect. We're providing care after Roe has fallen, and we'll continue to be here.
Yeah. So you just mentioned it. You walked across Tennessee.
Yes.
Tell us about that. You started in Memphis?
I did. Yeah. We knew probably a year before the Dobbs decision came, which was what gutted Roe v. Wade, and then allowed the trigger ban in Tennessee to go into effect. And the trigger ban, for those that aren't familiar, Governor Bill Lee led on an effort that would, ban abortion once Roe fell. And so, I think when I saw Texas started moving on state legislation, we called it what do we call it? The aid and abet law. Like anybody that was seeking an abortion, if anybody helped that person, they could be jailed criminally for aiding and abetting that person accessing abortion care. And so when that was able to go into effect, I realized, it is only a matter of time for Tennessee to do something like that. And so, I was in a very deep, prayerful state at the time, and just felt very called to walk in pilgrimage for bodily autonomy across Tennessee. So it was a pilgrimage and protest for abortion rights and bodily autonomy in Tennessee. And so I started in Memphis and walked all the way to Johnson City, around 538 miles, and had conversations in each grand division of the state, and, kind of did it disciple style. People put me up. They let me park my camper van in their driveway. Actually, I say my camper van. It was lent to us by generous supporters that let me go. I had Laura Button was my colleague that walked with me the full way as well. Like I met her days before I went off,
Who drove the van?
We had volunteers that would sign up and, to do that.
Yeah. So. I mean, I remember the walk being covered, in the news back then. And I didn't realize you had a camper, but the logistics of that must have been really challenging.
Yeah. I mean, people fed us, people put us up. Sometimes they felt sorry for us and they wouldn't have us stay in their driveway, so they'd invite us inside their house, which was great. I mean, we stayed in like really super fancy multi-million-dollar homes, and we slept on the, den floors of, man caves, and so it was a great experience, and we got to see all walks of life for sure.
Now you're going to write about this, right? You have a book coming out about it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I'm aiming for the end of this year. So, yeah.
So you had conversations as you were walking, like, did you meet with people that were not associated with Planned Parenthood? Did you have conversations with just randomly?
We thought we were starting to invent organizing model called convenience store organizing. And we would just go and start talking to people who are pumping their gas, or the workers in convenience stores who are, just standing there, they're up for conversation, and they kind of know all the people in the area that are coming by on a regular basis. And, we talked to folks in very, very rural areas because we were not on the highways. We were walking in most of the rural areas across Tennessee, and folks that were people who would attend Church of Christ churches, very conservative, and they would be apprehensive about the ban. They might feel that abortion was morally wrong, but they were uncomfortable with the government having more of a say over their pregnancy decisions than they had. Mm-hmm. I think most people did agree that decisions around a pregnancy needed to be left up to that pregnant person mm-hmm. and not to government. And, there were 3 random guys that we met in one convenience store outside of Hohenwald. And he had a picture of his family up on the wall. And he's like, if my daughter, who's 4 years old, looked like in the picture, if anything ever happened to her, if she were sexually assaulted, I would want her to have that option. Yeah. And the current ban in Tennessee does not make any exceptions for that situation. And that was alarming to him. And the other 2 guys were like, well, we're totally pro-choice. So like we're not going to, liberal bastions in these rural parts of Tennessee. Like, I could count on one hand where we had folks that were very, actually one person that was very like solidly, no matter what, you should never have an abortion. But most people in Tennessee are very supportive of the idea that it's an individual's life and that you can't make those decisions. You're not walking in their shoes.
And this is a little bit aside from that, but as citizens of Tennessee at this moment, we could not sign a petition to bring an amendment to our Constitution about that, right? I mean, that we don't have that.
There are not citizen-sponsored ways to get things on the ballot or to change. You have to have it sponsored by a legislator.
Yeah, right. It has to go through the legislature in 2 different sessions. So that means, and right now, in our legislature, we have what's called a supermajority of conservative lawmakers. And so we don't have the votes. Yeah. Nowhere near the votes. Now, technically, could we repeal the abortion ban? Absolutely. I mean, we have the mechanisms in place where if we know, say, it has to, we have 33 senators and you have 99 representatives, a bill has to pass on both sides of the chamber, both on the Senate and the House of Representatives sides, in order for it to make it up to the governor to sign that bill into law. We out of 99 seats on the House side, what do we have, like 27, 28 Democrats? So, you need a 50 plus 1, 50 majority to vote for it. So, I mean, we just would have to kind of talk with folks in those rural areas and have them convince their local legislator. I mean, there's a mechanism to do it. I think it's just a matter of like, is there the citizen-led effort to have those conversations on the ground in those areas?
I mean, I think my experience is very similar to yours, and a lot of the people I interact with are not. I mean, I do have a lot of progressive friends, but a lot of people I interact with are not. They're very conservative, but in general, they're all. It's a choice, right? It might not be their choice, but everybody should have that choice. I think most people feel that way, but maybe we'll get there one day. But speaking of that, the legislature and the courts, there was recently a Supreme Court decision about Planned Parenthood. Can you tell us about that decision and what it means?
Yeah. So recently there was the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, made the decision to allow Planned Parenthoods to what they call defunded. And the way that mechanism works is that any patient that's utilizing Medicaid would not be able to use Medicaid to cover their services at a Planned Parenthood. So anybody could still go to Planned Parenthood. So technically, it's not closing our doors in that capacity. But there are many health centers across the United States that, provide abortion and also accept patients that are on Medicaid, not to pay for abortions, because to be clear, Medicaid doesn't cover that. Right. But it really impacts the patients themselves, because you're removing that patient's ability to make a choice about who their provider is. So that's really what's the danger here.
State by state because here in Tennessee, it's called TennCare.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't think they're on Medicaid.
Right.
Because they're on TennCare.
Yeah.
And every state has a different title,
Right.
you know, to what this is. But if it's funded by the Medicaid portion of the federal government, it's subject to those rules. And that's unfortunate decision.
That's right. That's right. I think people who, there's a lot of misinformation and confusion around the healthcare system, which is totally understandable because it's highly complex. I mean, health insurance is not a simple thing to understand, like deductibles and premiums and, you know, all of that, your family deductible versus your individual deductible. Like
versus the donut hole.
Right. Like, what is this? What is this? So it's very complicated even for folks that pay attention. So, you know, I think that's definitely a barrier. And from a reproductive health standpoint, you know, we're calling it a backdoor abortion ban because what it's doing is, like, here in Tennessee, you know, because of the ban, pregnant people are either forced to give birth or they're forced to flee the state for care. Now, Planned Parenthood, we have a navigation program. We'll help folks find a place where they can get abortion care out of the state. But now with this law, more health centers are closing. You know, abortion providers are closing their doors because of that. And we anticipate more. And so that means that, you know, for Tennesseans, really anywhere, but I'm concentrating on Tennessee right now, you know, they're going to have fewer places that they can go to get care. And that's very dangerous. We're very concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried that Tennessee will follow Texas's lead in making it a crime to provide information to people seeking an abortion?
I mean, they've already done, you know, it's hard to know. They've done pretty much everything they can do, I think, here in Tennessee. But I'm afraid to even say that because they'll come up with some other wackadoodle thing that'll roll back even more rights. I mean, these are certainly, you know, my lifetime, unprecedented times to see the level of rollback, not only in reproductive health, but democracy itself. So there's a lot of concerns. I think, you know, our Constitution is absolutely in crisis right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, reproductive health is just one piece of that puzzle. And, you know, when we talk about bodily autonomy, you know, it's not just, we're not just talking about abortion. I mean, that's really important to say. I mean, we definitely stand and are proud to be abortion providers, but the greater value I think that listeners and Tennesseans need to be aware of is that when you start picking away at bodily autonomy and you say that the government should have more of a say over your body, it really opens the door to many, many more things. I mean, we're seeing that with trans healthcare. But, you know, as we kind of move towards a more technological future where, you know, people are using reproductive technologies, like, we're going to have to be forward thinking about, like, how do we make sure that we as individuals, you know, have the decision-making power over our reproductive rights in future?
Yeah. The apps that track your cycle and those kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for us, the older generation, like, I would never do that. But the younger generation, it's just embedded in their thread of who they are. You know, it's
and the surveillance issues with that. Yeah. So
and
it's a much different level of scrutiny and I think danger.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, Francie, what is Tennessee Planned Parenthood? What are the kind of things y'all are doing now to kind of prepare or respond to this? And then for the people that are listening that are also like, how can we help? Like, what, talk to us about that side of it. Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about the work that Planned Parenthood's doing right now. And I'm truly thankful that I'm in the role that I'm in so that we can be supportive in this way. Because I sense from talking to our supporters and I think the progressive movement at large, I think there's a lot of discouragement, a little despair feeling as well, but also, you know, healthy anger. I don't think people are wanting to give up, but I think it's confusing and people are kind of not sure how to make the most impact. And so some of the things that we're investing our time and talent and resources in is helping train up leadership and helping, because even as democracy falls away, should it fall away entirely, we need to fight to keep it, right? We could still be instilling the principles of what democracy is about. How do we work in a collaborative manner? How do we take the issues that are impacting our lives and come up with policy solutions? And so we actually are doing campaign crash courses right now. We did one in West Tennessee. We have one coming up at the end of this month here in Middle Tennessee. And we'll have more in East Tennessee and across the state. So,
and we'll have, by the way, we will be putting links and information about these courses on our website. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
absolutely.
that. Well, I was
spreading them on socials too.
I will say, and I went to the West Tennessee one that we did in Memphis, and I had high expectations for what it was because I saw the content, I saw the curricula, but it was even better than what I had imagined. Like if the campaign crash courses really train individuals on how to run a campaign from top to bottom, how to fundraise for it, how to build a field plan, how to think strategically. I mean, it was really, really good, and it contextualizes it for that locality, which is really interesting. So we'll have many, many of those. So that's something that. And I didn't even think of this as a side benefit, but people in the training also they were encouraged to run because which is very needed as well. Because I think, for folks that aren't familiar, a lot of times our side loses because our side doesn't even run candidates.
Right.
So many open seats.
If you look in Easton, majority of them are unopposed.
Yeah.
Whenever they were doing the Tennessee 3.
Yeah.
That I listened to. I was at work that day. I was working hard, but I had it going on my, and I was listening to, and I was, as those folks would get up and talk on the Republican side, I looked them up and all of them ran unopposed.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's our problem.
No.
That's not,
run for something, even if it's dog catcher. Run for something.
Maybe even especially if it's dog catcher.
I want to make sure
you get in, on the front, on the ground floor, and then keep going up and
school board,
learn how to govern.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that if you don't have time to go to the website, what is the main website for Planned Parenthood if people want to learn more, both nationally and locally?
Yeah, I would go to tnadvocates4pp.org. So it's TN. The letters TN, advocates, FOR, and then the letters pp.org. And then all of our stuff is on there. The other thing, so we're doing campaign crash courses. I don't want to miss out on this other thing. We're also doing a grassroots organizing retreat. And so campaigns are, when you go to the campaign crash course, it's really learning how to organize in a finite amount of time to win, right? Yeah. The grassroots organizing retreat is helping people learn how to build, how to lead a meeting, how to organize a large group of folks in your own area or a small group of folks in your area, how to talk about abortion, how to talk about political things. And most importantly, I would say it is a retreat. It is a retreat. It is so that people can de-escalate and, relax a little bit. Yeah. Like it's very high tension in community. We think that is so important, especially now for people to find other like-minded people across the state. So that's another effort that we're doing.
Well, you need to feed your soul, when you're taking on a battle like this.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
So that's one thing. And then we have another effort called Pink Horizon, because we need to be looking at that new day, our new political day. And it's a listening tour with Ashley Cofield, who's our president and CEO of Planned Parenthood of Tennessee and North Mississippi. And, we're always under attack, it feels like, but we're really, really under attack right now as a federation. And so she is putting her ear to the ground. She wants to hear from folks in areas so that she can get a sense of what are people feeling? What do they think, the direction needs to be for our work right now. Yeah. So that's another effort. So we're doing a lot of really good
stuff. And is
that
going to be just in Tennessee, or is it going to be in the
just
Southeast?
In Tennessee?
Just in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll be on the lookout for that.
And North Mississippi.
And I'm from Mississippi. I appreciate
they've
all the
got
work
all
y'all
stars
do.
In North Mississippi.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the work y'all do down there.
Thank you.
So, well, that is going to wrap us up. Thank you so much. That is so exciting to hear about all the things y'all have going on, and especially that campaign.
The campaign, piece. I know. I've got that star.
Yeah, come on. Yeah,
so important.
Thank you, Francie, and thank you to everybody in Planned Parenthood for everything they do have done.
Thank you so much.
It's really important work.
Yeah.
And we'll have links to everything in our socials and on our website. And we'll do a little progress report. You know, I think maybe we should, do a little catch up.
Absolutely.
No mustard. Just catch up. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I've been in a punny mood, you know.
It's just getting worse. It's going downhill from here. We were such a good place.
Yeah, you were in such a good place. And then I came along.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Anyway, Francie, thanks so much. So, Sue, wrapping us up here, what do we got coming up?
Well, we've got Making a Difference. And once again, all of this will be on the website there's a little tab we have called Take Action.
Yeah.
And we recap a lot of the things from our guests.
And for our listeners who don't remember, one of the main things we want to accomplish on this podcast is to give you places to plug in and take action.
Yes. And what's our website again?
frontporchaf.com.
There you go.
On the World Wide Web.
On the World Wide Web. That you don't even need the www. No, you haven't needed it for about 12 years. But we're just okay.
I'm living in the past.
We have some upcoming shows. And the next one, the official title is Getting Old Ain't for Sissies. We will have lots of audience. Guess who the showrunner on that one is? That would be the older of the duo.
Surprisingly, the more technologically advanced one of us. But
said the scientist to the liberal arts person. We've got Silent No Longer.
Yeah,
with Greta McLean coming up. Tattoo
and we're gonna
Sue.
Sue's gonna get tattooed.
That's right. We're gonna film it. Gonna talk about
it, and then Shannon Wages is gonna join us.
One thing before we really close out, I want everybody to wish 13-year-old Daisy luck. We talked about her last week. Daisy is getting doggy acupuncture for her arthritis.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. And
can you see a difference?
We've seen a difference in the last couple of days, so we'll keep you posted. Okay, we've talked about the website. Sign up for the newsletter. Really, there is exclusive content. We do these cute little videos. Mm-hmm. Trust me,
we think they're cute.
We think they're cute. We're doing one tomorrow. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, we're doing one tomorrow. It's about the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, my favorite topic.
Yeah, send us for your ideas for the show.
Full of love.
Please keep in touch. Go ahead. I believe you have a social message.
You can find us on the socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, one day.
Well, one day.
But never.
Ever.
Hit
it. Thank you.
Even though we feel sorry for Elon after the breakup.
I know. I said he had to return his ring, but he doesn't have to return the Cybertruck. Yes. Okay, so until next time.
Yeah, till we see you again on our front porch.
Okay, yes. Okay. The line that says Kelli, see, that's yours.
When we gather on our audio front porch, grab a drink.
And solve all the problems of the world.
Cheers, y'all.